What do you do when a child begs you not to send her home and you already know what's waiting behind that door? I had Mia, my 7-year-old neighbor's daughter, with me for the evening. She'd been to my place dozens of times, usually chatty and full of small stories about school, her cat, the silly things she noticed on her walk home. That night she was quiet, but it felt like normal end-of-day tiredness. We ate mac and cheese, watched a movie, and she colored on the coffee table while I cleaned up. Nothing seemed unusual until the credits rolled, and I told her gently that her mom, Celine, would be here soon. Instead of nodding or gathering her things, Mia went completely still. Her hands tightened around the unicorn plush in her lap, and then, almost without breath, she crumpled into tears. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It was as if something inside her finally broke open after being held shut all day. "Please, don't make me go back. Please, I don't want to go there tonight," she sobbed, grabbing my sleeve with both hands. I knelt in front of her, trying to steady her shaking shoulders. "Mia, what's wrong? Tell me why." She stared down at the carpet, struggling to breathe. When she finally spoke, her voice cracked like the words had been living in her throat for days. "Because Mommy locks me in the shed when she's angry." I felt something cold move through me. I knew the shed leaning behind their house, narrow, damp, with a crooked latch and a window so dirty you couldn't see through it. I had never imagined a child being inside. The picture of Mia, alone in that dark space, made my hands shake. I told her she could stay for now and walked to the kitchen to text her mother. I tried to sound neutral. "She's tired. She can sleep here if that helps." Celine replied almost instantly. "She's fine. She does that for attention." A moment later came another. "She behaves better with you anyway." I returned to the living room, and when I reached for the remote, Mia flinched a fast, instinctive movement that didn't match a simple fear of bedtime. She curled into the corner of the couch, careful, quiet, like she didn't want to disturb anything. When she pulled the blanket up, her sleeve shifted, and I saw the faint red bands circling her wrists. They weren't from rough play. They weren't random. They were marks from something too controlled to be accidental. I didn't react in front of her. I guided her to the guest room, tucked her in, left the door cracked the way she asked, and waited until her breathing settled into something soft instead of panicked. Then I went downstairs, opened my laptop, and did what I had to do. I read through signs of emotional confinement, mandatory reporting instructions, cases almost identical to hers. The more I read, the more it felt like each line described the girl sleeping upstairs. I documented everything. The marks, the messages, her words about the shed. Even a drawing she once made at my table, a tiny figure beside a tall rectangle I now recognized as the shed door. I filed a report with Child Services. Only then did I message Celine again. "Can you stop by? We should talk." She arrived 20 minutes later, flawless as always. Pressed coat, perfect lipstick, the kind of presentation meant to convince the world she was composed. She didn't ask about Mia. She didn't look toward the hallway. She sat across from me like she expected a friendly chat. I slid the folder toward her. She opened it. The photo of Mia's wrists made her smile twitch. The screenshots tightened her jaw. The report confirmation wiped the expression off her face entirely. "What is this supposed to mean?" I kept my voice steady. "It means Child Services has everything. They'll follow up soon." Her face twisted not with fear for her daughter, but with rage at losing control. She pushed away from the table, the chair scraping across the floor. "You think you can take my daughter from me?" I didn't move. "Mia stays here tonight. After that, it's not in your hands anymore." She looked like she wanted to scream, but no sound came. Instead, she grabbed her purse, muttered something about lawyers, and slammed the door on her way out. I locked it behind her. Upstairs, Mia slept curled around her plush toy, finally breathing like a child instead of someone waiting for punishment. I sat in the hallway for a long moment, letting the quiet settle.